Saurabh, and you're listening to my favorite talk show, The Weekly Show with Aditya.
This is episode 371 on the 31st of May 2021, the final day of May 2021. So let's enjoy this final day of May 2021 by looking at the highlights for this episode on this scorching Monday morning. So let's look at the highlights for this morning's episode. We'll start with the song Bad Boys. If you have seen the TV series as well as its movie adaptation, it has a very interesting song. Then we will discuss championships, move on to T minus 4 episodes, and discuss Environment Day 1 and finish with Sherlock Holmes. So let's start with this song. Bad boys, what you want, what you want, what you gonna do when Sheriff John Brown come for you? Tell me what you gonna do, what you gonna do, bad boys, what you gonna do, what you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do, what you gonna do when they come for you? When you were 8 and you had bad grades, you go to school and learn the golden rule. So why are you acting like a bloody fool? If you get hot, you must get cool. Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? You chuck it on that one, you chuck it on this one, you chuck it on your mother, and you chuck it on your father. You chuck it on your brother, and you chuck it on your sister. You chuck it on that one, and you chuck it on me. Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Let's start with the first theme of this morning's episode. Only 4 episodes remain for the milestone 375th episode. The wait for the 375th episode continues. Podcast or talk shows, though I find the term podcast and blogs infantile and juvenile, it's said that they have changed the way we consume content. Well, that's balderdash. I can still read magazines and newspapers, and unlike popular saying or misinformation that reading magazines and newspapers bore us because they're all text and images, and they are still text and images, and they don't provide us much educational or infotainment content. Well, that's absolute balderdash. I still love reading magazines, newspapers, and books, even though the audio video content over the years has become what people like to consume. I can consume all kinds of content, audio only, audio and video, only video. Well, there is no video without audio. So, audio only, audio and video, audio
It's
visual
10:15.
content. But for me, those who think that reading magazines and newspapers is a waste of time or there is no educational or infotainment stored in there, well, that's absolute balderdash, and that's a sign of laziness because people want an easy way out through the audio video format. There may be thousands of podcasts or talk shows, but there is none like this. And why is that? Why is it that? Let's go through this again. And let's get back to the discussion. There you go. There may be millions of podcasts on different subjects, but the main difference is that those talk shows focus on one subject and they are irregular. There is no standard to it. Most of them are substandard content and they take decades to even become a content. They have to rely on so many individuals to produce one episode. It can take a lot of effort, but it's the case of too many cooks spoiling the broth. And here I am with the 375th episode, not far away. How many talk shows can you recall who have even reached 50 episodes, let alone reaching 375 episodes? And then the topics are cliche, the genres are limited. For example, they are specific to one topic, but after a while, we can get bored with one topic. If there is a combination of a couple of topics, it still is interesting. But when there is one topic, after a while, the same discussion, the same old cliche, the same chestnut like discussion makes it boring, even though it's in an audio video format. And I don't understand how can a 5-6 minute talk show get any kind of discussion out there. 5-6 minutes is not enough. 5-6 minutes doesn't even get the topic started, and 5-6 minutes is too less for any content, especially for audio video formats. But that's them, and this is me, and that's what is unique about me. Let's get to the next theme. Now there's a discussion on domestic and international championships. The Test World Cup final, which is scheduled 2 weeks from this Friday. The International Cricket Council has postulated that if there is a draw, which is hypocritical, the trophy will be shared, in contrast to what happened in the 50 over final, where the super over, where the original match was tied, so a super over was done. The super over was tied. There was another super over which was also tied, and because England had more boundaries, which is a matter of luck, they won the championship. Though for me, no team won that championship. for me still the 2019 50 over World Championship is a draw and the trophy should be shared. But if the Test World Cup final is drawn or tied, tie may happen, the trophy will be shared, which is a hypocrisy of the International Cricket Council. And if you want to know more about this, you can read my article, not blog, article on the title International Cricket Council Hypocrisy, which will be reaching you 10 hours from now. Let's continue the discussion about various championships. The 20 over domestic championship, which I talked in the last episode, or the Indian Pesa League, will have no foreign players because most players have declined to participate because of their previous horrifying experience. They don't want to go through that again. And there comes the question, the paycheck is huge, but they don't want to go through that experience again, where if they are caught, if they fall ill, their countries won't allow them to come back. And then the England Cricket Board has said we will not allow our players to participate because we have much larger projects in mind, like the Australia England tournament or the Ashes. So, no England players, no Australian players, which leaves the West Indies players. And once again, the Indian Cricket Board has arm twisted that the West Indies domestic tournament, or called the Caribbean 20 over tournament, they want it to be tweaked so that the Indian Cricket Board can call West Indies players from that tournament and other players who might be available to play here. But that is going to be a challenge. And why should tournaments of other countries tweak their schedule to make a bully happy? I wouldn't do that. Which then leaves the 20 over international championship or the 20 over World Cup in peril. It's unclear, like the Olympics, with a lot of opposition against the hosting of Olympics because they fear that the illness may spread again. No conversation has happened over the 20 over World Cup or the 20 over international championship, while the Indian Cricket Board doesn't even care about the 20 over World Cup or the 20 over international championship, because for them the domestic championship brings in money, brings in sponsors, and adds to their treasury, while the 20 over international championship is a different ball game because the sponsorship has to be distributed between the various teams and the International Cricket Board, and also whichever country hosts it. At this point, India is to be the scheduled host, though it was supposed to be Australia last year, which was then made India, but certain incidents have made it difficult that can India host it? Would there be opposition because of the travel involved? Dubai or UAE is ready to host it, but International Cricket Board hasn't made it clear on this. We'll take a short break. Welcome back after the break. Another interesting discussion is on the cards. The Environment Day every year is celebrated on 5th June, just like the Earth Day and any other such event. And this year's theme is ecosystem restoration. Well, once again, the discussion harbors around global warming and greenhouse gases, though I find this discussion another moment of hypocrisy. Well, it's fairly simple. Over the past couple of weeks, cyclones have lashed the various coasts in India, and this has been directly linked to climate change, global warming, greenhouse gases, use of fuels which are consumed a lot and they in turn offer pollution. Now, what defines pollution? And I still don't understand why was the Paris Climate Accord, which happened, why did it start in 2015? Where was the concern before that? So it's only been a 6 year effort. Before that, no one cared about pollution. And is there a solution to the pollution problem? In my view, no. Environment protection is important. Yes, adverse events are happening. As I said, cyclones, rains. The rains in Delhi are unlike rains ever seen before because the temperature went as far as 40 plus degree and then immediately dropped to 20 degree. So what is the expectation? If the temperature goes to 45 plus degrees, we are worried about the ozone layer. Because of pollution, the ozone layer gets depleted, more sunlight comes in, it gets warmer and warmer, and whatever the parameters are for the definition of global warming, well, it does make me a little skeptic about this whole definition of Environment Day. It's ironical. Let's discuss how. There's a constant campaigning that do not use private vehicles. Because of that, pollution increases. Use public transport. Well, I've already put my views on that. The private versus public transport debate never gets over. Private vehicles are comfortable, public transports are not so much. Even then, the debate continues. The dilemma moves on to paper versus paperless to have a conscious effort. Let's discuss this in detail. To create paper, we have to cut trees. If trees are cut, which means oxygen depletion, increase of other poisonous gases, we move on to a paperless mode. But then for paperless mode, we have computers, laptops, iPads, which also consume electricity. Don't electronic gadgets give out pollution in their own way? Because to keep the gadgets running, to keep high velocity servers running, we need lots of electricity, which means opening of power grids. And then the question becomes, if my computer is on 24 hours a day, which means a lot of electricity is being consumed, I pay my bills, but then the dilemma is, which is better, paper or paperless mode? Paper is seen as, you don't want to see, is seen as cluttering. Paperless, not so much. But if my computer or laptop becomes old, a discussion which I have done numerous times, I will have to discard my electronic gadget, and these gadgets are not going to degrade into the earth. They will pile up. This will lead to electronic wastage. Toxic fumes also come out of the components of a gadget. To which is better, paper or paperless? Because even for internet you need wires. For wires which travel through cables underwater, pollution is also emanating from them, or toxic harmful gases which affect the ocean then gets dirty. We consume the ocean water, or
It's 10:30.
such discussions. So this is a dilemma. I can't go out, because if I go out, I have to go out in a vehicle which leads to pollution. If I stay in for a lot of time, I have to be hooked to my gadget, which also gives out pollution. What is the solution? There is no concrete solution. We are so concerned about environment, but I still find this concern full of double standards and hypocrisies. Why do we need a single day for Environment Day? Even if the theme, as is the theme this year, is ecosystem restoration, I find it unnecessary to have such themes. We want to save our planet by not cutting trees, but irony is, for your computer you need a table, and that table is made out of wood. So wood is anyways being used, and there comes the dilemma. Paper consumption is a waste. Well, even sitting on the computer, apart from what it can do to your body, you also need components: wiring, wireless, metal, broadband servers. The computer itself is a metallic piece. So there is no solution to all this. It comes to the same thing. It's full of hypocrisy. If you really want to save the environment, don't think about it. Just go about with the daily activities. What has to happen will definitely happen. Let's take a short break. Welcome back after the break. Let's move on to the reading section as is mandated by this talk show. It depends on the player, I answered. A well played violin is a treat for the gods. A badly played one, oh, that's all right, he cried with a merry laugh. I think we may consider the thing as settled. That is, if the rooms are agreeable to you. Agreeable to you. When shall we see them? Call for me here at noon tomorrow, and we'll go together and settle everything, he answered. All right, noon exactly, said I, shaking his hand. We left him working among his chemicals, and we walked together towards my hotel. By the way, I asked suddenly, stopping and turning upon Stamford, how did the deuce did he know that I had come from Afghanistan? My companion smiled an enigmatical smile. That's just his little peculiarity, he said. A good many people have wanted to know how he finds things out. Oh, a mystery is it? I cried, rubbing my hands. This is very piquant. I am much obliged to you for bringing us together. The proper study of mankind is man. You know, you must study him then, Stamford said as he bade me goodbye. You'll find him a naughty problem, though. I'll wager he learns more about you than you about him. Goodbye, goodbye, I answered and strolled on to my hotel, considerably interested in my new acquaintance.
For more awesome content, tune in to the next episode of the weekly show with
This ends episode number 371 on the 31st of May 2021, the final day of May 2021, as we finish 5 months of 2021 full of misinformation and what not. And the next episode is episode 372, titled Environment Day 2, on the 2nd of June 2021 at 4 p.m. Remember, the program will be live at 4 p.m. Indian Standard Time. My books are available on Amazon in the ebook format and hard copy, whatever you prefer, buy it, because they are two of the best books ever written on such subjects. No other book goes beyond what the content in these books are. Every other text falls flat.